Hi, everybody, this is Crypto Risk, working with you to get rich with crypto, filling our pockets with crypto profits. I have with me former trader Amir Ness, and we're going to be looking at the Bitcoin chart and a few other charts, and there is too much going on, and it's all going in the wrong direction, as we're going to discover.
Take the first step towards online privacy. Get NordVPN.
Get the Crypto.com Visa card. You can use this wherever Visa is accepted all over the world. Make sure you use my link to get a $25 bonus when you register. Link in the description below. Hey Amir, thank you so much for making yourself available.
Thank you.
I really do appreciate you doing this. I really, really do, because you bring your specialist insight where you just look at candles and go, ooh. Now, this time I'd like you to make everything go bullish, okay? It's the only reason I have you.
I can do that.
Okay, good. All right. Well, look, I'm going to start with the Bitcoin monthly chart. Hold on one second. Because I was looking at this the other day and I noticed something. Now, you don't really use triangles, patterns and stuff, right, like I do. But what we've got is, I think this is the 100-month moving average. Let me just check that. Got all these indicators here. This is CoinTrader, by the way, which is for free. And it borrows off TradingView, I think, with an API, but this is against CoinMarketCap, so it's not instant. There's a slight lag, so it's above the 50-month MA, and this is the 100-month moving average. So we're still in a long-term bull trend.
Yeah.
But what I noticed was this is an ascending triangle against the last 4 months, and we're still getting higher lows on a monthly, but resistance here at around about $48,000.
Yeah.
And then moving to the weekly, still kind of bullish, We still got higher lows, lower highs on the weekly, but this hasn't broken this red line. And then we move to anything you want to say about the weekly or the monthly before we move on to the daily?
No, I mean, it's a scary looking chart, isn't it? I mean, that's when we try to pump, it's failing. It's the retrace is really it's not there's no continuation to it, and that's what's scary. But I think, like, what everybody else is kind of waiting for is whether we're at a turning point, and that's the question.
Right?
Are we at a turning point? And then the story would be different.
Yeah, which would be if it drops below this resistance, which I've got here, this red line, at 38,000.
Right.
Maybe a little bit lower, actually, 36,000 or something. Let me get the indicators up, the moving averages. Yeah, because we're below the 50 and the 100 moving average. Where are we? This is the EMA. But we're above the 200 EMA. And in fact, going back, it hasn't really ever dipped. I mean, here it did in 2019 for a little while, a few weeks under the 200 EMA, and again here in early 2020, which would have been March 2020 when all the lockdown started. So we're still above the 100-week EMA. So we definitely don't want to go below that. That won't be good. And then let's have a look at the daily.
Same thing there, yeah. It's just there's no. It's the question is whether we're at the turning point. I mean, you can see we've had a little bounce over the weekend, and everybody's waiting for U.S. markets, futures to open, and I think futures are no, they're not open yet. I don't think so. I don't know. Maybe they are. Do you know? I don't know what time.
I don't know. No, they won't be open yet in the U.S. Maybe in an hour or so. The time of recording. But isn't it a bank holiday? Isn't it Labor Day in the US today? First Monday in.
Oh, shoot. It could be.
Yeah. So if that's the case, we're not going to have anything happen until when Tuesday and Wednesday. And what we got Tuesday and Wednesday is the FOMC meeting.
Yeah.
And they're going to raise interest rates. They've been talking about that for months and months. And I think that's to do with the war against the Federal Reserve versus Davos and the WEF.
Yeah, I mean, everybody knows they're going to raise. They have to raise because they've said it so many times. I think what everyone's waiting on is the speech and what he's going to say. Like, what's his tone going to be? I think it'll be very bearish if he comes out and says, well, we're for sure raising another 50 basis points next time. I mean, he's not going to say that, but if that's the tone, that'll become, really bearish. And then if he says something like if Powell says something like, we're looking at the markets constantly, and we will continue to monitor and do what's necessary while remaining sensitive to macro conditions. If he says it that way, then you'll get, that'll be a bullish kind of signal that we don't want to spook the markets, basically.
Right. So if they raise interest rates, which they're going to do, I'm pretty certain, what will make the difference is what he says rather than the actual raising of the interest rates.
Yeah, what he says for moving forward, exactly.
Okay. Because from conversations I've had with Tom Luongo and listening to him on Gold, Goats and Guns, and he's a regular guest on my channel, what he says is that the Federal Reserve, the bankers, Wall Street, they want Bitcoin because they want in on the DeFi action, and they're opposed to the central bank digital currencies that the WEF are out to impose and create on the world. So what they want to do, and I'm going to show you this chart here. Hold on one second. What they want to do is destroy the euro. Now, this is the euro dollar chart going back till 1993 or something, or 1994. And you can see here, they started raising interest rates in June last year. Well, they started talking about it in June last year, which would have been about here. And euro kept rising. Oh no, here, this is June last year. They said they're going to start raising interest rates. And look at it going down. And with the interest rates, it's just accelerated. And we now have the euro at lows since many, many years. I think going back 2003 against the dollar, actually. Yeah, it hasn't been this low since 2003. It touched upon it here. So I don't think it's going to bounce up, because you're going to get a better return parking your money in the US in dollars rather than in euro, where they got negative interest rates and a war on that continent.
Yeah.
So, and then this is my understanding of it, Amir, and you tell me if I got it correct, right? That capital goes to where it's treated best, which is a high interest zone versus a low interest rate. Plus, if they raise the interest rate, the dollar becomes far more attractive, but debt repayments become more expensive because they're payable in dollars, the large bonds and everything. So then the demand for dollars goes up as people sell other currencies in order to get dollars to pay the higher loan repayments. Yes?
Yeah, but also, equity markets will be suppressed. So it's a big gain where basically, okay, if European money wants to come to the US, it's only going to come into the debt markets for the interest rate, basically. But when you have inflation, your real return is not, what the advertised interest rate is, basically, right? I mean,
It'll be negative.
Yeah.
Then.
So I don't know how attractive that will be. I don't know, what they're going to think about that now, which does bode well, I think, for Bitcoin and DeFi in general, because if they say, well, their US is raising interest rates, and that's maybe more attractive than the euro, but really neither one of them is attractive. So what else is there? And then that begins the whole DeFi Bitcoin conversation.
Yep. Well, this is the Dixie, which is the index of the dollar against a basket of international currencies, and it is strengthening.
That's what everybody's looking at is that chart. They're wanting it to fall. I mean, because that's what's going to lift markets, basically, if the dollar starts to ease up.
Yep. And it bottomed out in June 2021, which was when Powell indicated they were going to start raising interest rates. And look at it ever since, been going up and up and up and up. And interestingly, this one, and I did a video on this, which is not on YouTube. It's on my Odyssey channel because it's far too controversial for YouTube. But I look at the ruble against the dollar, and the ruble is at multi-year highs against the dollar. And there's talk recently that they're talking, and this is what my video about, is that the Russia is looking at pegging the ruble with gold. Sorry, not pegging, backing the ruble with gold.
Their own gold, basically?
I don't know. They haven't released details. They're just talking about how they're going to do it, and they're working it out and everything. I mean, they are one of the largest gold holders in the UK, in the world, and they're a large gold producer, and they're allied to China and the Shanghai gold desk. They only use physical. They don't trade in paper like London does,
right,
like the COMEX does.
Right.
Okay, so for Bitcoin, so if this triangle is correct, this is actually bullish, a descending triangle, and what we want to see is a breakout above this line here, which would take it and through this resistance at around 39,000, and then the next resistance would be about 41,000. But we shall see. Everybody's waiting, I think, for the FOMC decision on Tuesday or Wednesday. I don't know what day.
Let's check if today. Let's check if today is Memorial Day. So
it'd be Labor Day, right?
Sorry, yeah. Monday, yeah, Monday, May 30th. No, that's May 30th. So that's, yeah, no, we're open today.
Okay, so you don't have a May Day workers' bank holiday in the United States? Like
it's on May 30th.
May 30th. Okay, May 30th. All right, so we'll find out later on how it goes with the markets, with the futures. Okay, so that is Bitcoin. And then I suppose you want to look at Terra Luna. So here are some lines that I've drawn. This is Terra Luna on the daily.
Sure.
It's dipped below the 100, which is 100 EMA. And it actually closed yesterday below the 100. But it bounced off this resistance here at about $77. Actually, maybe a little bit higher there because that's not entirely straight.
Yeah, exactly, which is where it bounced before heavily. I mean, it went up like 15% in one day that day.
Resistance here, support here, and support here. So this is pretty good support, recent support. So then what we wanted to do is see if it can break through around about $88, or if it'll bounce back down. If this is the pattern that it's playing out. Because also I can see there's a trading range here, about here as well.
Yeah, exactly. Like we're just about at 100.
Yeah, and if it breaks through that, then we could be building for a double bottom. Now that is Luna Terra. Anything you want to say about this?
No, I mean the growth of UST has been, pretty consistent. I think it's a market cap of UST is 18.5 billion now. So they're burning a bunch of Luna, and they're doing everything that they said they would be doing, basically, which is also, really, really solid. So the question is just, it's the market, the market is, I read a tweet by somebody. It was like, the market is valuing Luna lower than it did when the UST market cap was 8 billion. So at 8 billion market cap, we were getting a better valuation than we are better. The price was better than it is now at 18.5 billion. So it's just, these are markets, right? So like that's the situation right now.
Right. Okay. Wow. There is another very similar protocol.
The NEAR. You're talking about the NEAR?
No, I'm talking about Shade and Silk.
No, I haven't heard about that.
Part of the Cosmos ecosystem. It develops, and I recorded a video on it yesterday, which will be on my channel in a few days' time once I finish editing it. And it has what everything Luna Terra has. It's part of the Cosmos ecosystem. Not as fast as Luna. It's a secret network asset, and it allows for private DeFi. Because one of the problems with crypto DeFi is everybody can see. And if you're a large player, and you're parking several $1 million into a DeFi application, you don't necessarily want your competitors to know.
Right.
Right. So this is what the secret network offers. And then what you've got is Shade acting as Luna Terra, and then Silk, which is the stable coin with a similar sort of burn and minting process as Luna Terra and UST have. But the difference with them is they're only a few months old and not yet discovered. I wish I'd got Luna, when it was like...
One thing I don't quite get, Do Kwon, who's the inventor of UST of Luna, he always talks about that like this whole stable coin. It's not a war. It's like we all help each other. So what I don't understand is like if another stable coin comes into the ecosystem, and Do is like supporting it. How is that good for UST? I don't see it being as good. I do see it as being competition. So it's weird. I wonder how that how that works really.
Do you mean like how is he supporting Shade?
Well, I'm not talking about Shade in particular. I'm just saying, like, in general, he's supportive of all the stable coins or the decentralized stable coins.
I mean, he may
so how do I wonder how he thinks that's a good thing for UST ultimately, right?
I don't know. He may be being, I'm speculating here, he may be being very professional.
Yeah.
And because you don't want to badmouth other projects publicly.
Yeah, of course.
But seeing as I'm not a stable coin and neither are you, Amir, I don't think UST has a lot going for it. And USDC and DAI may have...
You don't think UST has a lot going for it?
USDT.
Yeah.
One is that there's the whole question of whether they actually have the audited funds to back the USDT. And then also, it's so bloody expensive to transact with if you're using the ETH one. And then, with USDT and with USDC and with DAI, you need another, and with BUSD, you need another crypto to be able to transact with them. If I want to send you USDT, Tron, USDT, it's really cheap, really fast, I have to go and buy some Tron.
For the gas fees. Basically.
Yeah, for the gas fees. That's not the case with UST. With UST, I just need UST. That's it, gone. I don't know how they do that, but it's...
Isn't it... I want to say it's because the gas fees or whatever the fees are paid in UST.
Right, but then with a stable coin, you'd lose the value of the stable coin, would you not?
What do you mean you'd lose the value?
If let's say I'm going to send you $1,000 in UST, and the gas fees come to $1.
Right.
Well, I'm actually sending you $999.
Right.
But then you've not got 1,000. Now you've got $999. What happens? Does some more UST get minted from Luna Terra to cover the gas fee? That I don't.
The sender has to pay the gas fee out of his wallet, right? I mean, isn't that you still get 1,000, but a dollar gets deducted from my wallet for sending?
Right. Okay, so if you're sending me 1,000, I would get the 1,000, but you would have spent 1,001. Oh, okay. Okay. Well, listen. If anybody who's watching this, if anybody is watching this because of the shadow ban from YouTube, do let me know. Throw me a few symbols. Those comments do make a difference. And I'm growing my channel on Odyssey, so your comments really, really help as I'm growing my work on Odyssey. Throw me any comment whatsoever. But do let us know how the gas fees for UST get dealt with, because I don't know. I'm not clear. Okay, so that's Luna Terra, and I did. Actually, I did put some more of my crypto into Luna Terra because I was staking Atom and Osmo. I had Atom and Osmo in the liquidity pool, and then now I actually get more rewards for staking Osmo than I do for putting it in the liquidity pool with Atom, even though they had superfluid staking. You know superfluid staking?
No.
So superfluid staking is a way where I put my Atom and my Osmo in a liquidity pool, so I get the liquidity rewards and any external incentives, plus on 50% of the Osmo that I get in the liquidity pool, I get staking rewards.
Oh, I think I have heard of this.
Yeah, so I'm not losing out on the opportunity of staking. but the staking rewards for staking Osmo are now higher than for putting Atom and Osmo in the superfluid staking pool. So I took it out and I put some of that into Luna Terra because I think that's a really good long-term play. Also some of that into Secret and into Atom because of there's certain airdrops that are coming up with Atom. And I put some into Osmo. Now this is Osmo on the weekly chart. And it doesn't go back to the entire history of Osmo, which actually started trading end of June 2021. But it was only listed on CoinMarketCap in October 2021. And this is heartbreaking. This is heartbreaking. It's just going down, down, down. $3.78 currently, right? And I think alts are bleeding generally because Bitcoin's going down.
Yeah.
And I think what might be happening with Osmo is people are liquidating their Osmo in order to get into Evmos.
What's that?
Evmos brings the EVM, Ethereum Virtual Machine, to Cosmos. So you'll be able to run ERC20 applications onto Cosmos, which means you won't have the crazy gas fees or the lag, because Cosmos assets are pretty much instant.
Right.
So Evmos was airdropped to loads and loads of people. I got some Evmos. I'm looking to buy some more. As are other people, because I think it's going to be big and there's going to be lots of airdrops associated with Evmos. So that might be why Osmo has been dropping, despite the thirdening that's happening in June, less than 2 months away. Anything you want to say about this terrible, terrible chart? I mean,
no, let's hope Bitcoin doesn't do that. That's all.
Yeah. And I think that's actually a good point because it's important to remain diversified. You know, I've done really, really well with Osmo, but it's not my entire holdings.
Right.
I have Bitcoin and ETH, you know, and a few others tucked away in a hardware wallet that I don't ever touch. So this is just with play money. So this is on the daily where the 50-day EMA has crossed below the 100, which is bearish. And then we'll look at the 4-hourly just for shits and giggles. There you go. Not much happening there. Let's go to the hourly. Any signs of change there? No. Oh, wait a minute. Is this bullish divergence here? We got higher lows on the RSI for the 1 hourly. Quite a bit, but we don't have higher highs. Okay, that's Osmo. Then Ethereum, and we'll look at Pirate Chain quickly as well towards the end. So this looks very similar to the Bitcoin chart.
Yeah,
very similar to the Bitcoin chart. And it is just going to follow Bitcoin. Although they're burning, I don't know how many thousands of people a day. So in the long term, it's going to be very, very bullish. But with all these other blockchains that are offering compatibility and interoperability, that you can move your DeFi stuff over onto Cosmos or over onto Binance Smart Chain, over onto Avalanche. I don't know how that's going to play out for Ethereum in the long run. Anything you want to say about that? Anything you can say?
Yeah, I don't know about that. I mean, I just the whole Ethereum thing with the gas fees, and it's like you wonder if, like, in 5 years from now, there'll just be a much better chain to be on, and whether the adoption will move over. I mean, I guess it will. You know, it's like there used to be Motorola, and now everybody's using something else. But
or was it Netscape?
Or
Netscape and Alta Vista and AOL. Yeah. No, there is that. Okay. Well, I can see this triangle, symmetrical triangle here, which follows the trend, and the long-term trend is still bullish because we got higher lows on the daily. Well, I suppose maybe on the weekly, it's still trending upwards. Okay, so that's Ethereum, and then Pirate Chain. Haven't looked at that for a while. Not much to say here. That's also going down. Might be a good time to pick up some Pirate Chain. We got a lot of resistance around the $1 mark, which I suppose would be the next support level, really. A little bit of support at about $1.20, but otherwise the $1 mark. That's where it's at. Okay, Amir, anything you want to say? Anything else to finish up?
Let's just see how the market's open, and hopefully if we get a little lift today.
Yes. Amir, thank you so much. Really, really appreciate you doing this, and look forward to recording this with you again next week. If If anybody have any comments or questions or thoughts about the cryptos that we covered, let us know. Even if you don't have any comments or questions, just please give me a comment, subscribe, like, come and follow me on Odyssey, where I post extra material. And between now and when I see you next week, please keep filling your pockets with crypto profits, crypto rich, and crypto Mia signing out. All the best. Bye-bye.